Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful collective reading, Goddess Kali here. But you are a beautiful, divine being of a soul who has gone through the death and rebirth, and unlike most who would be swallowed up in this process of going back down and coming back up, taking control and reconstructing, like an elevator, going down and going back up. It was like things got soft and then they just like cleared up and got louder. That was really interesting. But with the Seven of Swords here, you faced these inner demons, you face these things head on, you've gone into the red, into the root, and maybe some things maybe you didn't want to hear or didn't want to listen to, but have brought those things forward, to be looked upon and to be moved through, not running from things. And in doing so, you really took the initiative with the ram going inwards and connecting to the wisdom, taking charge to that Aries energy that has marched us forth and bringing in a lot of harmony and balance within ourselves into the nature of cycles and the natural world in self, knowledge within self. And you've become this enlightened being, and you're the tree, you're the book, and you're the sun, you're this golden, energy. Horus and the scorpion here is relevant as well. Really set boundaries and really set forth a new version of you connecting to your emotions, where you are this humble being, and not really so reactive. You're more, not saying you're a monk, but you're not as reactive of like anger or those negative emotions as have been in the past, because you've really, again, have had to face some things, going through many transformations, and it's like the universe, serving karmic justice, balancing the scales, but it's served on a silver platter, and you taking up your sword and standing your ground and standing on who you are and who you have become through this. All right, let me find my page. Okay, so yeah, and you've seen the different versions of self, the different versions of others, in the best way in moving forward, finding clarification. We have behemoth here, and the word behemoth has become so much part of a language that you probably instantly think of some huge animal, but it's not always the case. Because of Behemoth's great size and power as a daemon, he was given domain over the sin of gluttony and described as a cupbearer in hell. So that can be taken in many different ways. A cupbearer can bring many different things. He was only like one of a kind, though. So if there's a disagreement there are disagreements in his appearance and what he brings forth. But he was a symbol of strength and virility. But Behemoth, the demon, is an illustration of excess. Maybe too excited, too impulsive. A clear example, and remember, we got to slow down, how the same trait, strengths, and high intake of food to sustain that great strength that may resonate in many ways can be good and acceptable in one situation and demonized in another. There are always two sides. Behemoth is considered a dumb animal. He is only acting on his nature. But if he is considered to have higher intelligence, his excesses are considered sinful. Beware of considering natural instincts and actions in moderation as things to be scorned or mocked. Some territorial feelings, hungers, and instincts are perfectly reasonable human reactions as long as we think before acting on them. putting a shadow over my face with the book, sorry. So again, thinking before we're acting, but we are listening to these feelings. We're not repressing them, and we're not letting them, take control and take us in other directions. We have Nibus. Focus for dreams, both inspiring visions and relaxing daydreams, and knowing the difference between the two. It is quite possible that as the conductor of dreams and visions in hell, Nibus is not taken seriously for the same reason that we humans sometimes scoff at daydreamers, or those who have always seemed to be off in their visions or of the future. However, there is no questioning that we sometimes also speak of dreams with respect. People who have a dream of great things can inspire many, and can those leaders with visions. As can those leaders with visions. They can inspire many. There is a fine line, it seems, between dreamers that are considered fools and those that are considered visionaries. So again, not, judging on impulse or what we don't know, what we don't understand, because sometimes that casts a shadow if we don't, fully understand something or are not aware of all sides. Proofless. Beware of individuals who speak gossip and discord for the sake of drama and divinists. Distance yourself from those individuals and do not be dragged in. Proophilus is said to have made his home in the Tower of Babel. The story of the Tower of Babel ends in tragedy, as all of the workers who were striving to create the two great towers, two halves, were scattered to the ends of the earth, and their languages were confounded so that they would not have common ground or conversations going forward. This could be disconnection in body. You can think of this as disconnections with others, because it's both. As a result, that the scattering men who had previously worked together turned against each other, and that division lasts until this day. As a cautionary tale, that of the tower is similar to dealing with Proofless. Although he is willing to assist those who summon him in their endeavors, he seeks to divide and sets groups against each other for his own amusement. And with that is through emotion. That is through the two halves, like ego and pride, and like being able to humble yourself and bring yourself back down. Again, seeing things through multiple perspectives, and having that middle ground and that connection. Next we have Barbatos. Focus on closeness to the natural world and understanding of plants and animals. In keeping his appearance, Barbatos is said to be able to speak to and understand animals. With their assistance, he can locate lost and or hidden treasures. Barbatos is a skilled hunter and tracker whose attention to nature and the animal kingdom gives him the ability to track and find whatever he seeks. Barbatos is described as resembling a woodland hunter, occasionally an archer with horns like the horn god of the pagan religions. As with many daemons of the hunt, Barbatos is accompanied by the sound of hunting bugles. But four invisible kings sound his, perhaps of the four cardinal directions. Barbatos is an earl of hell. No, we don't need that. But he is of an angelic virtue. So again, the four quadrants of the body, connecting to self, connecting to the music and frequencies around us in the earth and above us in the music, in the connection to self, and and taking in that divine assistant to assistance to and being our own assistants to assistant to be hidden, to find that hidden in the lost treasures within us, within, the book of life, within the book of wisdom, within the book of happiness, love, all these emotions, writing the book of self,